Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of What Drives You. And I am one of the hosts, Carl Bauer, along with my dear friend and co host, Stan Windhorn.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to What Drives You. Carl, it's just you and I today. What are we going to be talking about, my friend?
Well, I thought because we had a pretty amazing month of guests for May,
Yeah,
that we would
we
just
did.
kind of do a recap, review, overview, highlights of our guests. So,
Yeah.
ready?
Yeah, I like that idea.
All right.
Who was your favorite guest of the month?
Um,
I mean,
I
that's
am a
hard. I mean, I don't want to single anybody out like that, but was there anybody that's kind of stood out, and for what reason?
uh I really liked who it just kind of surprised me was Ed French. And
Yeah.
I will tell you why. You had raved about him. I had pictured kind of very like professional, toe the line, corporate guy, and he was not that at all.
Yeah.
And super knowledgeable and interesting. And what a story.
Yeah, he was at the top of my list too. They were all great. But yeah, Ed's always interesting to talk to, especially if you are interested in the automobile industry, because as I always call him, the auto prophet. I'm thinking we might need to have him on like once a month just to kind of go over the state of the union in the car business.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Who thought of that?
I believe that would be me. Um, Another one of my favorites, and I am a little bit biased, but my cousin Cinda Boomershine. She's a terrific person, great human being, very accomplished. They've done so many cool, unique things. She's had the most interesting life. She has an incredible list of friends that we did not talk about on the podcast. I didn't want to put her on the spot, but she's got friends that we would all recognize their names. And at the same time, she just has remained super humble. And I always appreciate that with people who've had at least financial success, that it doesn't change them as a human. I like that.
No. Yeah, that was she was pretty cool. I wish that one could have gone on to me, in my opinion, Stan. I know you and I have a philosophical disagreement on this timeline thing, but and I know everybody's busy and active and all that, but I thought she could have talked for another hour about her adventures. And to our guests, if you have not gone and watched the Boomer Shines on YouTube, you got to check it out. They the adventure that they did, was it a year, Stan, that was they were gone
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
with their family and their pets, and it just you got to check it out. So
Yeah. Well, we can always have her back on, but I also want her husband, I guess, is it a cousin-in-law when somebody marries your cousin?
yeah,
But Mark Boomershine has just an interesting story too. His family was deeply involved in the car business in Atlanta for many years. They had many, many dealerships. But his artwork is just kind of unique, and what a cool way to be able to make a living doing something that you really love to do, like his artwork. So
yeah.
we'll have him on too.
Let's go, Mark. I'll be the bad cop on this one because you don't want to be pushy. Come on,
Yeah,
Mark Boomersheim. Let's go.
yeah. Maybe if you pronounce his last name correctly, it would help.
Boomershine. Boomershine. Boomershine, is it?
Boomershine with an N, not an M.
N. I was trying to
There,
say N, but it
there goes that guest.
can't. Well, Mark, my apologies. Stan really wants to talk to you.
I think I'll do that one by myself too.
That'd be a good idea. No, it wouldn't, because what intrigues me about him is he probably could have rode it off into the sunset after his family shut down the businesses, but he's like a dual creator, a YouTuber and an artist, right? And just
Mhm.
so I probably will like
Yeah,
him better than you.
yeah, we'll cover both those topics with him.
So another good one was we had some real entrepreneurial people. We had Joe Tura, $200 million plus exit with his
Yeah.
company. So we're going to have his partner on hopefully this week. We
Can I
had,
say something about that one? Just
yeah, yeah,
that's another example. Like you would never know from his demeanor and everything that he has had that kind of just astronomical success like that. He just seems still just super down to earth. So I appreciated that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go to their bar stand because in Naperville, down south of Chicago, to our friends who are listening or in the area, Go Brewing is the name of their establishment. So they actually have a live, they do live music, NA drinks, adult beverages,
Yeah.
food. So and to see that operation, which is where it kind of all began, and now it's in all these stores is really cool. So
Carl,
yes,
you had me at going to a bar.
gotcha, gotcha.
I'm in.
It's not the Lucky Turtle or anything, but it's pretty darn
The
close.
lucky rabbit. Yeah. Yeah, that was a good one. I like that one.
I also was pleasantly surprised because Brian had warned me. He's like, I'm not going to say too much. Bobby's kind of the mouthpiece of it, but that combination of marketing and entrepreneurial and social media with Bobby and that was our first time we did two guests and you and I, so four people. I thought that went pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah, they were interesting. Every one of our guests has really been interesting, and even here's another kind of interesting thing for me, Carl, is even some of the people that I've known for a long time, I've learned things about them on this podcast or whatever we call this thing. That was cool.
Do you feel a little bit like Stan? Sometimes people come on the show and we've had a couple freeze up a little bit. We've had a couple go not over the top, but be their normal fun self. But the other side of it, I feel like some of them they feel like they're on their uh, a couch with a therapist and they share stuff that they like. I've known you for 20, 30 years and you didn't share this crap with me ever before. And now you're sharing it out here on YouTube for the whole world to see.
Yeah, sure. But like the story my cousin told me on why she insisted on manufacturing her product in the United States. I had no idea that that had a genesis with my grandfather. Didn't surprise me when I heard that story, but I'd never heard that story before. So that's kind of what I mean by that. There was somebody else. Oh, when we interviewed Dr. Rock, the chiropractor,
Yeah.
uh, I had no idea that he ever sold cars. And I've known Dr. Rock for 18 years. Never knew he sold cars before.
Yeah, that was a good one. I hope he's doing well down there. Again, remind me that that's a stop we got to make next time I'm down in Austin.
Yeah.
Fred Uter, my partner in the documentary, he had some good stuff to share. Was with him again last night, working on some editing. So he's got some really cool stuff in the hopper, as we know, and we're gonna have him back when he gets closer to launch his stuff too.
I could talk to that guy for hours and hours and hours. A lot of similar interests, but really like what he does and what he's accomplished.
The couple more that I thought were interesting. One, and it's hard to our audience that's out there. Stan and I are pretty flexible. We try and accommodate the guest schedules and night hours, daytime, whatever it is. But we've had a couple, the Cinda B one, which was just Stan and his cousin, then me and Andy Linder, and then me and Joe Chura. Sometimes I get into those and I'm like, dang it, I wish Stan was here because he'd ask more uh, like an outsider question or make them
Sure.
feel a little bit more. So Andy Linder was a good one. If you
Hmm.
watched that, those of you who did not watch it, please do. He's a world famous, and I do mean world. He's been all over the world, famous footbagger, hacky sacker, and then just a humble, down to earth social worker that helps people out of troubled times here in Chicago.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to pick one more, and then I think we should talk about what we've got coming up.
Okay.
But I think it was last week we did Billy Joe Hunt, who is the owner of the Gramercy Restaurant in Lakeway, Texas. A favorite kind of place for me to go. What I was just blown away by Billy Joe was his story. I mean, most people, if they're thinking about opening up a restaurant, most of their friends who are in the know are going, that's a tough business. Don't do the restaurant business. You really got to know what you're doing. So not only did he open up a restaurant, and he's never been in the restaurant business before, he'd never had any of his own businesses before. He'd always worked in the corporate world. So he was first time entrepreneur opening up a restaurant, and it happened to be right in the middle of COVID. So I mean that's just overcoming a lot of odds. And what I really appreciated about what he was talking about is that he realized he didn't know all these things and he went and sought experts. He went and listened to people who knew more about the subject than they did. And I mean, I've heard these stories about Rockefeller and all these great people throughout history that they said they would surround themselves with people who are smarter than them. That's, I think, a really good way to reach some success is to, um, get people who have strengths that are your weaknesses.
That's why I have you, Stan.
I'm your weakness. Is that what you
No,
mean?
no, smarter, stronger, faster, more
Yeah,
outgoing.
yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
all that stuff. Well, and that's kind of why even, we've got the website up now. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, we've got the
Give the website address.
what drives you.co, what drives you.co. I was thinking it was .com, but and I actually was going to say what drives me, but it's actually what drives you, everybody. And that's out there and live. Please share that, visit it. It's just kind of a hub and talks about our team. We haven't seen Lindsay around. We got to get some guests for her. We haven't seen Mr. Potter, but I got one coming up for him, Kenneth Potter. My daughter Jane, we've got working on a couple with her. So yeah, just trying to spread it out. Again, it's not our channel, it's our channel, it's your channel. So if you have a guest, you can suggest. If you even want to try, crap, Stan, maybe we got to do something with a guest host audition type of stuff. We're kind of open to everything here because it's new and we're learning together.
Yeah, I would love for somebody who maybe just happens upon this, if they've got a story to tell and kind of what drives them, let us know. We would love to hear from a lot of different people. I've got a couple people lined up, Carl, that are going to be sort of fun. Just today we did an episode with my friend Jack Ryan, who I know from my time at Medieval Times, which is just a unique thing to talk about. But I've got two different guys on the slate for the next couple of weeks. One is Richard Steele. He is a professional magician. He travels all over the place, does a lot of trade shows and stuff. This guy is just super talented, especially in the up close stuff. He could literally take a piece of rope and entertain a crowd for about an hour with just a piece of rope. He's that good. And then I also have another friend of mine, David Hamner, who's a professional illusionist. The distinction between the two is magicians do card tricks and stuff for a smaller group of people, where an illusionist is on stage. Like David Copperfield is an illusionist. They're doing the big stage production stuff. And I've known Dave Hamner for a long time. I watched him going from doing just old little county fairs and stuff, but for a number of years now, he's had his own theater in Branson, Missouri. So I think that would be another very interesting guest.
Yeah,
What are you doing?
I'm trying to get some light on my face. Sorry, it's just we're
I don't think that's necessary. Can you go back into the shadows a little bit more, please?
that was like the witness protection program. I didn't like that there. I think no, the illusionist. It's going to be interesting to see, and maybe that's one stand where we got to experiment a little bit with splicing in some of his illusions or tricks. I don't know.
Yeah.
It'll be fun to hear those guys' stories, and I've got the partner of Joe Chura from the Big Exit Company. He's hopefully coming on this Friday. That is Matt Cole. We've got Anthony, who's a friend of ours. You met at Ken's wedding, the actor slash real estate agent from California. He's been in some cool movies. We'll go through that. And who else we got cooking?
Who's on your wish list, Carl?
Oh man, the wish list is way, way, way big.
Pick
Um,
two. Give me two.
Give me two, Utah. Give me two. Two. Let me think about that for a second. Oh, Alex Vetter. CEO of cars.com. He has been exchanging texts with me, so that would be a big one. And then our other friend, an entrepreneur, Scott Painter, who we both work for at the old True
Mm,
Car Racing. He
that'd be amazing.
those are my top two, not in all of YouTube,
Yeah, there's too many to just narrow it down, but
but if I was going to say we're starting out with our expertise, which is automotive, those two would be top.
sure. All right.
How
I'll
about you?
accept that answer. Well, when you said Scott Painter, I immediately went to our friend Bernie Brenner, who is also a co-founder of True Car. And Bernie, man, I just got mad respect for that guy. He's not only very smart businessman, but he's just a cool guy. And I think you know this already, Carl, but he's on his second book. He wrote a very popular business book called The Sumo Advantage, and he's got another book in the works right now. So that would be fun talking to him about his book projects.
I wonder if the new book is going to be the ballerina balance. Do you think is that kind of the opposite of the sumo advantage?
There goes another guest.
I will
How many of
also
them are you
say
going to chase away?
I will I will also say that he is an amazing ping pong player. Amazing ping pong player.
What?
Hey, do you want to chase him away, or you want to leave that to me?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, he's great at ping pong. Yeah, sure,
Thank
sure
you,
he is.
thank you.
Well,
Uh,
cool, man. It's been a good run so far.
yeah.
I've enjoyed it.
Well, we are at just come a little housekeeping. We are now on episode 47. So we're getting up there. We're chasing that 100 mark. We're going to try and step it up a little bit, and maybe a couple more of these kind of conversations where it's just me and you with some picking a topic or a guest or wish list. And we just passed 30 subscribers, which I know is a kind of a joke when I just sent Stan uh, a text of Mr. Beast passing 400 million subscribers. We're a little behind him.
Hey, at one time he only had 30.
Yep, it took him
Wait,
almost a year.
have I subscribed to our channel yet? I'm not sure. I might have checked that out. Uh,
That would be like you if you hadn't, but I forgive you. Get in there, subscribe. For those of you who have been watching our journey and following along, thank you so much. It's just to hear comments and saying, you know what, one of the ones that we didn't talk about this in our list of review, but that interview that you did of me, talking about the Leon project.
yeah.
I got really good feedback on that because one, people were like, "Oh, yeah, Carl, we saw you on a podcast." I'm like, "No, that was our podcast. We were short guests that day." So Stan wanted to talk to me about the project and how it was going, but I got really good feedback on that. So people are interested and they're watching and paying attention.
Was
Um,
most of it about my incredible interviewing skills? Was that where most of the comments were coming from?
a
Just
lot of it, a lot of it was about that. Yeah.
thanks for lying to me. I
Well,
appreciate it.
okay. Well,
Yeah, that was a good one.
so I'm excited for June. It's going to be zipping by fast. Uh, I'm really excited for anyone who has control over the weather patterns in Texas. I really need a massive rainfall to fill up Lake Travis so I can go down and visit my friend Stan and get out on the water.
Yes, please. We had a little more rain today, but takes a lot more than that.
But that will be, maybe we run into Joe Rogan down there at his studio. Go visit the comedy club and see if we can get him on the pod.
See if he would help a couple up and comers.
I think he might. I think he might.
You never know.
All right, brother.
All right, man.
Have a good night.
We'll see you again on What Drives You.
Have a good night. Bye.
See you.